All right, welcome back.
Hello, everybody.
Another episode, Go To Realtors Podcast, Investment Realtors Podcast. We have a nice, fun, light, easy one for you guys today.
Yep. Beautiful Monday morning.
Absolutely. Thank God. We're chipping away through winter. Just before we know it, our spring ahead.
Yep.
Spring will be here. All that fun stuff that comes with it.
The best.
Yeah. So how are we proceeding with this one today, Mr. Lewis?
I think it's time we start answering some emails that we got sent in from a lot of our viewers that are watching the show.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you again for sending the emails. Please, guys, like we say, feel free to comment too. Commenting is more public. Emails only we get to see, and when we do these email episodes, we get to read them out. But please, any questions, feel free to just comment them below. Like, share, subscribe, all the good stuff.
We're here for your enjoyment, your entertainment, for educational purposes. I mean, we'll be whatever you need us to be, everybody.
Yep. So you had the first question you wanted to read to me?
Yeah, so the first question was from Diane, and she was asking...
Diane.
Hello, Diane. She was asking, with the Bank of Interest announcement last week where they held it, what do we think is going to happen for the 2024 year?
Oh, man. The question we get asked probably once a day for sure, if not multiple times a day.
Absolutely.
What do we think is going to happen? Now, the problem is nobody knows.
You don't have a crystal ball?
I don't got the crystal ball anymore.
I
sent it back. The interest rates were too high on it. I couldn't afford payments.
Full circle. Got you. Okay.
So everybody's got their assumptions. A lot of people say bank rates are tied with inflation.
Mm-hmm.
I don't see inflation coming down anytime soon. I don't see the cost of living coming down anytime soon.
Nope.
So equally, I don't see the interest rates coming down anytime soon.
Wow, that's a bold prediction, young man.
I give it either it stays at the whatever it's at right now for the rest of the year.
Okay.
If rates start going down, it's only because the cost of living goes down. So first we would have to see gas going down.
That'd be nice.
It would be nice. Then we'd have to see food prices going down. Then we'd have to see everything else going down, stock market going. Like there's so many variables that need to go down or up before interest rates go down or up.
Okay.
I also don't really see house prices going down.
Really?
I don't anymore. I think
that's a change in pace.
That's a change in. I just don't see it because people have to be willing to give away their house. That's the only way prices go down. Somebody has to give away their house for less than they think it's worth, and everybody still thinks their house is worth what they think it's worth. The only thing is going to be when people are at the point where they can't afford things and they can't get renewed for mortgages.
That's fair.
Are they going to have to sell for under what they feel it's worth? That could start the domino effect. But if that doesn't happen and people keep getting reapproved for mortgages, however way they can, then prices aren't going to go down, which means interest rates aren't really going to go down either.
Well, back to what you said, where maybe somebody feels like they're forced to sell it at kind of less than what it's worth. I would disagree because it would be kind of like the natural competition where, let's say, Mr. Smith, you're right, can't renew and they need to offload it quick before they go into default. As soon as, with all the buyers kind of on the sideline, I would think from what we've seen with the trends, as soon as they see a house that's 100,000 or 200,000 under,
they would jump.
Yeah, and then that would probably make the organic competition. And really, it would probably still command what the market value is, maybe even a little bit more. So
you think prices would go up then?
Not go up. I don't think that even if somebody, as long as they were ahead of it in the sense of they go for renewal, they can't keep it. As long as it's before the default where they're like, okay, they're acting quick, where they know they can't afford it, they're putting it for sale. Even if they're putting it for less than market value, I think with it being less than market value, would still get market value, which is natural competition of people knowing what the house is worth, seeing why is this house 100,000 less than I've seen the last 3 or 4.
So then exactly
not over asking, but I would say at the very least what it's for.
So exactly what I said. Until they have to sell for below what market value is.
But
that's the only time the prices will go down. I don't think that
they would ever, unless you're in default. I don't think anyone's ever selling.
That's what I'm saying here.
Okay,
there's
no
we're on the same page. There's no reason for them to go down in price if people are still going to offer market value, like you said.
Yeah.
The only way prices go down is if they don't get market value. Mm-hmm. Everybody has to sell for a loss,
which would
that brings the trend to everybody lose. So that's the only way.
Lose, win-win.
So Who's going to be the first to sell their house at a major loss? I don't know. Until that happens, prices won't go down, which means interest rates can stay the same, because what would be like, what's the incentive of bringing them down if people can still afford their houses the way they are? We obviously know they can't, but this is the Bank of Canada and the government speaking. So I don't know what's going to be. We know the day-to-day trends. We know where the market's going. It seems to be leveling off as of right now in our market, especially in the PO region. I don't know. We'll see. Take it day by day. We'll see what's going on.
Yeah, I mean, what's the stat we read? I think 50% of mortgages are up for renewal this year and next year. I worry that if they keep, or let's say they hold the interest rate and then maybe they bring it down, depending how much, if they overshoot bringing it down, I worry that it would create the perfect scenario again of what we've seen. Oh, it's cheaper money. It's not ever going to be cheap money like it once was, but it's cheaper money. Everybody on the sideline that missed out when interest rates were so low, because I mean, we do the calculation so many times where what people bought before was more expensive for the same amount of payment. But so, I mean, I don't know. It's, we get that all the time. We don't have a crystal ball. We have no idea. These are all just speculation.
Yeah.
The biggest thing, I think, the takeaways that we tell everybody we talk to is just don't over leverage yourself. Like back then, if you were approved for $1 million, you shouldn't have spent $1 million. Maybe do the 800. So it would be a little bit of the safety net, but it was cheap money. It was free money. So many people
and they got stuck in the bidding war too. Maybe a lot of people we worked with, they started off wanting to pay in the 8s, and then
they wanted $1 million and over.
Oh, you get like 20 offers, and it's a perfect house, and they want it, and then they end up over leveraging, and then now they're in this problem.
And it was scary with the no condition. Some people got really messed up with the no home inspection. You know, if you're on a country property like we sell a lot over here, you know, wells drying up, needing new wells, needing new septics. I mean, the influx we've seen of everybody going north, well, we weren't, you know, impervious to that. Everyone from Toronto coming up here. So now you have the Toronto amenities, but you're now on, you know, propane, a well and a septic, and you're like, oh, it's okay. And no, if you've never been on it and you know nothing about them,
it's a shock.
Yeah.
It can be a shock to you when you find out you have to replace them. You have to do septic flushes. You have to do your water tests on your well.
Yeah.
Propane's got to be filled.
Yeah. Yeah.
Right. You can't wake up one morning without propane.
Yeah.
There goes the heat in your house. Right. So it's a lot of things to think about.
And the next one, it wasn't a lot of questions as so much of people writing in saying how they're kind of combating with the cost of living and everything else. We've seen a lot of people just kind of giving us their story about multi-generational homes. It's like, okay, mom and dad live upstairs or vice versa. Then the kids with their kids live on another part. They're separate areas, but at least the money's kind of within. And you have to offset costs that way, because I mean, with how everything's going, wherever you can kind of pinch a penny or save, that's been a big thing too of all the viewers emailing in to us. And that's been a big uproar we're seeing of, you know, accessory apartments, homes with maybe a secondary kind of garage that has the loft on top.
Yeah.
So, I mean, you know, that's why in Toronto you see a lot of these alleyway homes now that they're allowed to convert their garage depending, you know, their setbacks and if they fall within that program's parameters. And I mean, it is kind of a form of affordable living, but it's tough. We're all feeling it.
We've been asked lately, probably more than ever in our careers, about first-time home buyers buying properties with a basement apartment.
Yeah.
And I mean, it's probably the best way to ease your mortgage payments.
Absolutely.
Right? If you set it up properly and you get it like to code and everything, it could be a really good investment.
I agree.
Buying a property like that.
I agree.
And I mean, having extra income to rent out a part of your house might not be ideal, but in this world, we got to do what we got to do.
Yeah. Nobody says, you know, oh my God, I'm so excited to have strangers living underneath me, but you do it because you need that kind of financial relief, offset costs. I mean, with no sacrifice, there's no reward. It doesn't mean it has to be forever. These are things that you're putting into play that kind of help you now to then help you in the future. So maybe you don't have to do that. You can
in your next house.
Downsize, or you could upgrade and not worry about it.
Yeah.
So,
okay, another question. This one's from Joanne.
Yeah.
This is more of a fun one, just about house staging.
Okay.
Just what our thoughts are on house staging and how much of a difference does that really make?
Good. This is a good question to end with. So I'll go first. So, I mean,
Your
With-
experience on
with the home staging, it definitely helps buyers understand what the space is, how they could live in it, how it would appeal to them. What we've seen a lot of, even on our listings, if they're vacant, we can do virtual staging, so it gives them the vacant picture
Yep.
with the virtually staged right after that, so it gives you the idea of, okay, this is how it could go. As long as you have a good stager, they can definitely be a net positive for the listing. Help you out offset costs, because generally as a listing agent, we
cover everything.
we cover the cost
Yeah.
to just, that's full service realtor.
It's part of the
So as long as you have
package.
a stager that is looking out for you, isn't gouging, and is in it for the right reasons, it's definitely a net positive. There's nothing negative to say about it.
No.
Just like photography, we always are big on inside outside shoots. We do the drone shoots,
Drone
the
shots,
video
yeah.
virtual tour walkthrough, anything that can help.
floor plan.
Yes, a potential with measurements, a
Okay.
potential buyer vision your space as then their space, just helps that much easier in getting the house sold and what it's worth, as opposed to
Yeah.
dingy, over cluttered, crowded areas that people are just like, I can't get past this big massive chest that's in the way. So it's definitely a net positive.
Yeah, I think I have to agree. I mean, the only part that I guess would suck about living in a stage house is
You
if
gotta be careful.
you got to be careful, right?
Mhm.
So you basically every day is a show day for your
Yes,
house, right?
yeah.
So, and this isn't your stuff. This isn't furniture that's owned by you. This
No.
is the company's furniture. So you
Mhm,
just gotta
mhm.
like treat it with respect. Obviously, keep it clean, keep it neat, keep it organized,
Yes.
and you're kind of feels like you're kind of living in a hotel. And I get it; it sucks, and the
Yeah.
longer the house is on the market.
Yep.
But the idea behind staging is that you're presenting the best possible outcome or design for your house, so it sells fast.
Correct.
Then as soon as it sells, you could pull the staging out and go back to living normally until
Yeah.
the house closes.
Yeah.
So the ideal timeline would be first 2 weeks, stage it, hopefully you get an offer in, it
Yeah.
sells quick, and you get your stuff back in and kick the staging stuff out.
Yeah.
But
Absolutely.
but does it help? I think it's a net positive.
Yeah,
I agree.
so do I.
I think it's a net positive.
So do I. So
So,
hopefully we were able to kind of provide you guys with some insight,
yep.
answer the few of the questions. Thank you again. Tons of support and outreach for just kind of the channel, what we do here, what we stand for, everything we believe in.
Yep.
It really reflects on our viewers.
Yeah, that's it.
That's it.
Don't forget to
Until the next one.
like, share, subscribe, and bye-bye.
Yeah, we'll see you on the next one. Bye-bye.